We are Up Plex on the go.
Let's on the go.
Is receiving a late K1 a possibility or concern when vetting sponsors for a syndication?
It is a vendor that's being utilized. So just like the carpenter who's going to be responsible for doing the renovations within the unit, you don't necessarily have control over those things. You just know, hey, I've got a person who's able to do this. They're qualified to take care of that. But we don't necessarily have full control over getting these documents out to everybody. This is part of the, hey, let's send a draft early, make sure we have all the administrative stuff taken care of, because we want to get those to you as early as possible. The cutoff to get your scheduled K1 out is March 15th, but you can always file an extension. They can file an extension for that document to be released out. But the hardest part is making sure you have all the administrative stuff done correctly. And it's not a bad idea to ask people, but I wouldn't necessarily hold it against them that they're not able to get it to you in January or February, because they still have to finalize the documentation, the accounting for the year through the end of January, through the end of February. Sometimes they're going back all 12 months, verifying and making sure the financials are being certified by the accountant before they can actually get started on doing the taxes, and making sure that they get the cost segregation accounted for as well in its entirety. So they talk to the general partnership along the way. They try to make sure in advance that they have all the administrative stuff done. And, just as with an example I was using for a carpenter or something coming in and doing a rehab, everybody can do that at a different timeline and with a different quality, I guess. And I would rather have one that's at the right quality level of everything completed and sent over to us if it has to be a little bit late, but complete, versus somebody who sends us something early, but we have a whole bunch of corrections that we have to make.
So there is nothing wrong with, again, when asking what does your team look like, because we hire vendors, and when we hire vendors, sometimes, vendors will tell you, hey, yeah, the roof is going to be ready, or this is my estimated timeline of completion, but anything could happen. What I will say is that definitely vetting the team as what the resources that they have, well, that's part of the team putting together the process and making sure that everybody, that all the vendors are vetted and that they have their own credible team to complete. And I will give an example. We had a couple, which both CPAs, excellent. They have been doing the K1 preparation for several of the sponsored teams in the communities that we belong to. And it was husband and wife. They did have a team, but the husband passed away suddenly. So those situations are going to be out of the control of so many of the sponsors. So I would say, yes, ask those questions. However, some situations might call for a late preparation in that case. The other thing that I will say is that when we communicate with our investors or partners, we want to make sure that we are putting an urgency message out there. Like, we all expect to file the taxes on time, but something might happen. So, and this is what I will advise to my brother, because he's also one of our investors, and we're used to filing right around the first week of January, their taxes. They had all the information, but their taxes weren't as complex. So what I will say is, when you're investing in multifamily, you kind of have to prepare for the worst and expect the best. And I will say, if you, we have 5 businesses that we have to file for, and almost 20 syndications themselves, so we have to gather all of those documents. So the more complex the taxes are, then the more you should be prepared. So to file an extension, it's actually your CPA should be able to help you with that. But also, I'd rather have that peace of mind and then not use it. If you invest in with a LLC, the corporations are due March 15. If you're filing, if you're invested as a person, then you have a little longer, right? So depending on your specific situation, you then kind of mitigate. So I guess to answer your question in a long version is that I wouldn't hold it against the team, but I will definitely stay very attentive, very in tune, and ask those questions early.
Hello everybody, we wanted to thank you for joining and subscribing to this channel. This is a space where we share our experience, we share other speakers' experience, and all of that is aimed to increase your knowledge base for investing in apartments or any kind of assets in the real estate.
If you're looking for specific material, you want some specific material covered, please reach out, let us know at up-plex.com. That's upplex.com. Just reach out, send us a message, and give us some ideas. We would love to provide as much value as possible to you. And if we know what you're looking for, we can do that a lot easier.
Remember, our goal is to elevate all of you with our content, with our partnerships. Thank you, subscribe, and see you around. Bye.
See you guys.